market open will tell us, maybe not the open, but at least it'll give you a sense really. So it's green for now, 0.5% in the Nifty. Nifty Bank is up double of that, about 1%, 48,500. The Sensex is up about 0.5%. Mid-cap index is up about 0.4%. And then the small cap index, small caps, of course, I mean, the index itself is down 17% from its all-time high. So that's taken the biggest knock out there. It's up about, it's flat actually, nothing, the small cap index, but too early. 100 points on the Nifty, 22, just about 22,900. Sensex at about 75,745. Market breadth is about 2:1 in favor of advances. And what do we have? As far as the Nifty heat map is concerned, 35 names higher and about 15 stocks which are starting in the red at this point in time. Surabhi.
Okay, it's green all the way, 110 points up, and it's BFSI that's leading it. Shriram Finance 3% up, Axis Bank 1.5%, HDFC Bank 1%. There's Indices Bank, there's Bajaj Finance. So banks, NBFC stocks across the board higher on the liquidity boost that the RBI is injecting. As Lata said, the rough calculations show that all of the three measures put together, the swaps, the OMOs, the VRRs, all of it put together amounts to almost 1.5 lakh crore rupees, and the market loves that. Okay, what else? There's some rebound in the tech space. So names like Infosys, slightly higher. There is Trent, which is the worst performing stock of 2025 on the Nifty, by the way, so far. Serious price damage on Trent in the last 3 weeks. There's some recovery today, 1% higher. Adani Enterprises about 1% up as well. And there's BEL, TCS, HCL Tech, like I said. So tech is looking good. And then it starts fizzling out. On the downside, Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy, Cipla. So pharma seeing profit taking. There's some Coal India. Let's talk about the result reactions. Didn't get to that. Coal India is down about 0.5%. Let's see what Tata Steel is doing.
Flat.
Tata Steel is also slightly positive now, about 0.5% up, as the numbers didn't look bad. So that's on the downside. Some profit taking in FMCG names like Britannia as well. So it seems pharma, FMCG, basically the risk-off sectors are on the red side, and BFSI is leading from the front.
Well, that's right. I'm trying to look for some positive earnings reactions. I found Updata. That's the one that is listed, I think, a short while back. Updata Services, that's up close to around 7%. So that's some green that we're seeing out there. Solara Active Pharma, that stock is down another 7.5%. It was under pressure yesterday as well. So that one's coming for a bit of a pounding. You have Prudent Corp. We'll get the management later. Volume's not very, very high, but that stock is down close to around 7% as we speak. So sharp pullback is what we're seeing. Credit Access Grumman, it moved 20% yesterday, intraday. But that one, in fact, for starters, that's down, in fact, close to around 5% as we speak. So big pullback is what we're seeing out there. Sudarshan Chemicals as well as another stock, not very, very high volumes, but that as well is down close to around 5% as we speak. So the headline index from being up close to around 130 points, well, that's still up close to around 90 points. The Nifty Bank, that's the ones that's powering away. And CDSL, after seeing a cut yesterday, it's down another 4% in today's trading session. But good to see a few of these banking names in the green. Union Bank, Bank of India as well, pointed out Canara Bank as well in the green as we speak. And Greaves got in. I think Mr. Purunjo, a noted investor, he's bought yesterday in a large trade. So I think that's one of the reasons why the stock is up 3%. Even in yesterday's trade, to be fair, it was higher in trade by close to around 3% or thereabouts green. Let's hope we end the day in the green.
Yeah, there's Mahindra & Mahindra Financial Services, by the way. They report numbers today, if I remember correctly. And obviously, there's the overall move on BFSI, taking things higher. M&M Finance up 4%.
It's a lot of financials, of course. I think in terms of the top movers, it's largely financial services. Novama is coming up. I was talking about the wealth management company, and this deal was also. Novama is up 2.5%, but of course, Novama is not just wealth management. Samman Capital, I mean, these are some of the smaller ones, is up about 3.75% higher. LIC Housing Finance is starting about 2.5% up. There is a Bank of Maharashtra, 3%. Indian Bank is coming up with something. J&K Bank, I think Rajiv this morning was talking about that one, 3% higher in J&K Bank, 92. And of course, I mean, got the Chola Finance of the world, PNB Canada, Bank of India, Piramal Enterprises, and Union Bank, which are on the leaderboard this morning with volumes as well. CDSL, I'm not sure we mentioned, is down another 5%. Yeah. And look at Anantraj. Anantraj got smashed yesterday. So basically on last Friday, it closed at 810. Yesterday, it closed at 670, 668 to be precise. 810 to 670. And today at about 628. It's recovered, by the way, from the lows. The low today is 604. and about 623 right now. So that's a big volumes as well. 1.4 million shares now up on your screens. So it's widely traded. The other continuing accident is NetWeb Technologies, right? I mean, we had the management with. I actually looked this up yesterday. We had the management with us on the 20th of January in the morning. It closed that day at. It opened at 2300. It closed at about 2200. But from 2200 in the last 5 or 6 trading sessions, it's now at about 1450, 1460. I mean, that's a massive move coming through on NetWeb. It's almost as if the floor has fallen through. It's literally the definition of that, which is kind of come in. Of course, I mean, valuations at that point were 100 times. I mean, even on the 20th of January. Now, of course, it's fallen quite a bit. So I'm assuming valuations would have come off as well. But it's a big fall. SW Solar is another continuing accident, right? No flow. It's down to 300 rupees. High was about 830 about 5 or 6 months back, 7 months back. PG Electroplast is another EMS company, 6% lower right now. Keynes, of course, is the big one, 12%, but there's PG Electroplast down about 5.5%, 6%. These are all stocks which have gone up 10 times or so in the last couple of years. VATech Vabag is continuing to fall. It's down another 4% this morning. Decent-sized volumes as well. A fair bit happening.
By the way,
right now.
Prashant, overall, look at the mood in the mid-cap market. The index is already flattening out, and this was the risk the market was running. But I think it's very early. We'll probably have several waves, peaks and troughs through the course of the day. Might be that kind of a day. But there's no immediate huge excitement and huge bounce back after the dropping yesterday.
It depends on the kind of mood you're in, right? Keynes, one would have argued when the stock was going up, it delivered 1,300 crores last year. This year it's going to do closer on 3,000 crores, which now we understand it's closer on 2,800 crores. And in the next year it's going to do 4,500 crores. So growth, it deserves that multiples, trading at more than 100 times
now. And they're
now.
investing in the business. The hike in employee costs is because they're adding more businesses. All of that. That's bull market,
Correct.
psychology.
But now you're saying, look at the price you're paying. And guess what? From the start of January till now, how much is the stock down?
30%.
40%.
Oh, gosh.
With this fall, it's down 40% as we speak. So that's the mood of the market as well. If you promise, they should have given a heads up or something on those lines. You can't pull back on, when you're trading at these valuations, there's no room at all for any kind of error. You would have said the street saw it coming. That's why the stock was down 25%. Guess what? It's down another 12%.
No, absolutely. And, essentially very, very rich valuations and some reality check now coming in.